Hello, and welcome to another tropical weather update. We're going to be talking about Tropical Storm Megan. So let's get started right into this, okay, folks? So here's what we got looking at here. We got this system. This is Tropical Storm Megan right here. And it was actually named earlier today. And since then, the storm has continued to organize with deep convective activity. And currently, the Hurricane Watch Team has an analysis that the storm has maximum sustained winds of about 65 miles an hour or 105 kilometers an hour as a well central pressure of 985 millibars. Deep convection near the center and developing very quickly. This storm has actually become much more well organized over the past several hours. So given that, we want to go right into the forecasts. So let's dive into the forecast, folks. Tropical cyclone, this is Tropical Storm Megan, and then just looking at the brew meteorology, we can see that the system is expected to really intensify and to reach a Category 3 on their scale. Now, keep in mind that their scale is not the same as the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale. Alright, so Category 3 on their scale. Now, by the time this video releases, it will most likely be a little bit outdated. However, they have a cyclone warning from Anguilla to Mornington Island in Queensland, including Borola, but not including Nakor or Mornington Island. Also, they have a cyclone watch at Mornington Island in Queensland, as well as adjacent parts of Carpentaria District inland to Robinson River. All of these areas, from here all the way up to here, we got tropical cyclone warnings. So this storm is going to continue to intensify. As it does, it's going to push the water, and we're going to get a lot more of that storm surge and a lot of heavy rain, because this isn't a super fast moving storm. This is actually generally a pretty slow moving system. So forecasts, I do want to take a little bit look at the forecast modeling here. So the forecast system looks quite concerning. So we can see that the storm is showing a quick intensification pretty quickly. If we go here relatively quickly in just a couple of hours, just 36 hours, there it is, 976 millibars. And I do expect this system to actually get even stronger than that, possibly below 970 millibars, based on how fast that this system is already developing this deep convection, rapidly intensifying already, and really beginning to deepen and to strengthen. So we do the fast possibility of rapid intensification and the possibility of reaching Category 1 or 2 intensity on the hurricane wind scale is very, very possible. Meaning winds in excess of 96 miles an hour as a Category 2 hurricane would be considered a Category 2 hurricane. And we are expecting those winds to peak at around 100 miles an hour and about 160 kilometers an hour upon landfall. Now this would again equate to a Category 2 on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale. Now there is also some wiggle room in aspect, and it should make landfall roughly in around 24 hours from the release of this video. Now this is expected to make landfall around the Pelew Islands. So this is the rainfall right around here. Those are where the Pelew Islands are at. Those are where they could see, those are the first place where it will make landfall, where again they could see those up to 100 mile an hour sustained winds gusting to over 100, possibly 110, 115 miles per hour, folks. And as this moves inland, it will quickly fall apart and quickly dissipate. However, it will continue to produce a big rain event across portions of all of northern Australia. So, see, even as it does fall apart, there's a lot of heavy rain that sticks with it well into northern Australia. And then it just completely falls apart. So even as the storm is falling apart overland, the threat of heavy rain will continue and persist with this system. Even if those winds aren't particularly super, even though they're not 100 plus miles per hour, they may only be 35 or 40 miles an hour. But guess what? Water is the number one killer when it comes to these tropical systems. Regardless if it's freshwater flooding, which is rainfall, or saltwater flooding, storm surge. They are both absolutely catastrophic and detrimental to lives. So I just want to quickly briefly mention that if you find this video in fact useful, share it with others who may need this information, like it, subscribe to our channel, and never miss the latest cyclone update. Let's continue with the tropical weather update. So I want to talk a little bit about the rainfall, folks. Unfortunately, due to the slow movement to this tropical cyclone, we are very, very concerned about how much rainfall is going to occur with this system. So as you can see on this model, 400 to 500 millimeters of rain is expected. Now, keep in mind that they said that the storm was going to make landfall here, right? Guess what? Just because that's where it makes landfall doesn't mean that's where the majority of the rain is going to be. Majority of the rain is going to be on the wet side. You can clearly see this is the wet side of the storm. This is considered the dry side. Just because you're on the dry side of the storm doesn't mean you're not going to get rain. You're not going to get the worst, absolute worst of the rain from this system. So these areas could get 400 to 500 millimeters of rain, and areas on the opposite side of those islands may only get 150 to 200 millimeters of rain right in this area. But as the storm continues to move, you'll see hundreds of millimeters of rain through this entire area, and there'll be lots of flooding. Not only when it makes landfall. Just when it makes landfall, that's just when it begins. It continues. It doesn't fall apart when it makes landfall immediately. It slowly falls apart as it makes its way inland. And even once it does, the overall rain event will continue all the way until it is completely destroyed. The storm. So as you can see, over 500 millimeters of rain, that's about 20 inches of rain. That's almost 2 feet, folks. That's almost 2 feet of rain that could fall in portions of northern Australia. However, the good news is, this time yesterday, they were showing upwards of 3 times that. They were showing roughly 50 inches of rain, well over 1,300 millimeters of rain in the same area. Now, regardless, the flooding is going to be a big threat with this system. It's going to be a major concern, and we advise significant caution. Now, the good news about the system, really, if there is any, is that the system is hitting a rather sparsely populated area. There's not a major city like a Melbourne or Sydney, Australia. There's not a major there's not millions of people that live here. There's only a couple hundred to a few thousand people that live in this entire area. In our calculations, we have been able to determine that the total population within the area of a 10% or greater chance of 60 mile an hour, 95 kilometer an hour sustained winds is only about 4,000 people. And around 1,000 within the 10% risk of 75 miles an hour, or about 120 kilometer per hour winds. So that's what we have for the flooding right here. About, again, only a couple thousand people live in this area. Now, okay, in summary, folks, the Cyclone Megan is expected to be a major threat to a rather sparsely populated region of Australia. Now, we advise the caution in regards to keep up with the flooding, and the rainfall will be the biggest threat. We will keep you up to date with the system even after landfall, so we advise you to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and click on the notification bell so you get notified in case we go live or release with a new update. Also, for additional content, as well as other perks to our YouTube channel, consider becoming a Patreon for only $1 a month. Now, all of these links are going to be in the description below. And we will be working on hurricane season predictions, and those will become first available on Patreon. So if you want to get first access to those predictions, now in the past we've actually been pretty accurate, and if you want to get early access to those, links in the description for Patreon, starting at $1 a month, $5 a month, or $10 a month if you are feeling a little extra about our YouTube channel. That's it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Hurricane Watch Team, your source for cyclone information. As always, folks, stay safe out there. Peace out.